Welcome back to the Road to National series. In today's episode, I'm going to take you through a deload upper workout. Now, this was a bit of a different workout because I had the aim of seeing if I could put 110 kilos on some sort of a push press style movement overhead, and I went for it here and managed to hit it pretty easily, just some stabilization issues. I think that's actually technically a sort of push press PR, or the most weight I've put overhead, but the reason I've done that is I've been scouting a little strongman contest, and that's also why here I'm doing a 40 kilo trying to replicate a monster dumbbell style. So it didn't really work on that bar, it just didn't feel right at all. So I did a 50 kilo regular dumbbell, which again didn't feel right. Both of these are harder than a real monster dumbbell, and I was seeing how I could actually move it, but I'm going to have to see if I can substitute that another time, because there is a cheeky little strongman competition that I am considering doing. So I might not end up doing it. I might just be doing the powerlifting competition later in the year, but it was something that I fancied seeing whilst I had an extra deload workout spare. I was just going to see what my overhead was sitting at and whether it would fit at the comp, and it would. Basically, I would be able to at least complete the event. The next strongman contest I do, I've already done one. There's a video of that on the channel. I won it, but it was pretty easy. Like, it was 80 kilos overhead. So this next one will be 110 kilos overhead and like a 70 kilo monster dumbbell. So the monster dumbbell I did was only 45 in comp, and that's where the real challenge would be. But here I just did some strict overhead pressing as well. I did 2 sets of 8 at 70 kilos. Again, I think that's technically a PR, even though it moved really easy and felt like a deload. I could easily have got like 10 reps. I think I've only done sets of 5 or 6 with 70 kilos above the head before. So anyway, potential to do that strongman contest. In fact, comment down below if that would be interesting, or if you think I should just stick to powerlifting. My training actually wouldn't change. I find strongman an easier sport for me. I did loads of sports growing up, and athleticism and running and moving events is actually my strong suit, and that is why I'm doing powerlifting training, because static strength is my weakness compared to other events. Like a sandbag loading medley or any sort of movement event, I am way better at than I am at static strength. So whenever I can improve my static strength and just working on the main lifts with powerlifting, it carries over into practically all the other strongman events, because I'm naturally much better at those. So I could do that. I think the comp's mid-July, so I might throw that in. However, I'm planning on competing in powerlifting at the beginning of September, so it might be a bit close to have a full prep after that. Anyway, there is potential there. So the next sets here, I'd done 200 pounds at both lat pull downs and chest presses, just to get the blood moving. It's nice to have a workout using the gym again after my holiday. Going pretty easy here. I mean, in general, throughout this entire deload, sort of double deload week, including the holiday workouts and the ones I did before I set off, I push a bit too hard on deload workouts. Like, the main reason you do them is to prime you for your next block of training, and I've come into the next block a little bit sore. I drastically underestimated how sore I'd be from the holiday workouts, given that I had very little weight. If you haven't seen those, they were the last 2 videos before this one, but they were shockingly hard for me, because I basically did very high reps because I didn't have access to a gym and a lot of weight. So the next exercise here is just simple alternating bicep curls. These ones feel really nice. Any exercise that I don't have to like set up, I can just grab the dumbbells, feels fantastic. These dumbbells as well, I used to have adjustable dumbbells, but I've found that if you have a rack like mine, I mean, you'll be able to see this in every video, but it is so much more practical to have a dumbbell rack built into your rack than adjustable dumbbells. I actually find it takes up less space in my gym, because it's taking space I wasn't using, that sort of space at the back of the rack near where the plate storage is. However, even when I had a small adjustable dumbbell stand, I had the Iron Masters dumbbells, which are fantastic, but they were a massive pain to like change the weights, and I'd never do it. So I would advise, actually, if you're making a home gym and you've got a rack like this, I'd definitely just build a rack like this and put dumbbell stands built into it. It's more practical for your workouts, like there. Immediately just pick up the 5 kilo dumbbells instead of messing around with changing weights. And ironically, it actually saves more space because it's space that you wouldn't have been using normally. So the final exercise here was these loo raises, really light with 5 kilos. Now, these were pumping the delts up loads. They're still challenging even at 5 kilos. There is no exercise as humbling as this. Like, everybody talks about side laterals or lateral raises, whatever you want to call them, being humbling. I can do like 20 kilo lateral raises for the same number of reps I can do like 5 kilo loo raises. They are significantly harder, and I find way more effective for training the delt. If you go back and watch this series, you'll see the first episode that I do them, and then I've never gone back to doing regular lateral raises because these are just so much better. They get a much better contraction in that top position, and I attribute my increased like strict pressing strength, which I mentioned earlier in the video, and the fact that I was basically at my all-time strongest even when pushing not that hard because it's a deload week at the beginning of this video. I attribute that increased shoulder power basically to these. These are the main movement I have been doing for my shoulders, and it's working all the way up into that locked out position. And if you just get strong doing these, like when you come to overhead press and it's a pressing movement, it just feels way easier. So that is it for today's video. I hope you did in fact enjoy the video. If you did, drop it a like, drop it a comment, subscribe, click the bell, all that good stuff, and thanks for watching.